This is the new Noble 40 from Monta. I'm fortunate to have hands-on with this brand new release. I'm going to share my opinions, show you the details, and talk about why this is my favorite Monta release in the past decade that they've been a brand. Now, the overall tones here are very versatile. It's a sport watch. It has kind of an aggressive case with crown guards and wider lugs as you're looking top down at the watch, but it's also refined feeling. It's thin at 10.5 millimeters in total height. It has a gorgeous blue dial. It has some finesse. It has a pretty face. So yes, you can dress this up a little bit. You can also wear it very casually. You can take it to the lake. You can take it camping. I think it has a wide range of environments and outfits that this feels at home on your wrist in. And that's always a positive thing. Now, this is something that means a lot to me. I'm a huge bracelet fan. I think with the sport watch, you need a good bracelet to have the best experience. It just completes the package. It adds weight, it adds light play, it adds some versatility, and this has one of the best bracelets and best clasps, if not the best, that you can buy for under $2,000. And what do I mean by that? Well, each link carries full articulation, so it has a comfortable drape on the wrist. The satinization is very smooth. The edges of the links have just a nice polish edge. That's called a polished chamfered finish. I like the fact that the links are held together with screw pins. I like the fact that this has a clasp that you won't find on another brand. It's not like Monta is getting this from a manufacturer that's selling it to other brands. This is Monta specific, and it's well thought out. It's well engineered. The signed flip lock is integrated widthwise into the curved form of this sport clasp, so it doesn't bump out wider. It just feels at home, and the action, the sound of the snaps, the micro adjustment system, it's all satisfying. It just feels like a luxury product. It does not feel like something that you would generally find in a watch that retails for under $2,000. And so in that regard, it's bringing the value. And as a bracelet fan, I can't get enough of it. So if you're like me and you enjoy a good bracelet, you are going to enjoy the bracelet on this Noble 40. Now, the dial is a strong blue color. It's very bright in certain light conditions. Like here in my office under LED lights, you really see the range of blue. You see that change as I angle the watch around. You see the Sunray, and it's very attractive. And then you go outside, you go under a tree, you're in soft shadow, and it looks navy. In fact, it almost looks black from arm's length. And so there's a wide range of different blue that you get in the wearing experience. And you might enjoy that, or you might think that there's just too much going on there. But personally, I like that. The other thing that I like is how thin this watch is. Yes, it has 200 meters of water resistance. Yes, there is a display case back, so you would think it's taller, but it measures in at 10.5 millimeter, and that is just impactful. That makes a difference while you're wearing the watch. And I would say this Noble 40, it's not too small feeling it, but it's also not too large. Measuring it at 40 millimeter with a rather large dial, it looks maybe a bit bigger than 40, but it doesn't wear bigger than the 40 millimeter dimensions. So I think it's just ideally sized. And a lot of you watch collectors are going to prefer this 40 fit compared to other versions of the Noble. Now, this has strong BGW9 lume. It is white and natural light. It's desaturated. There is no aged lume look here, which I think is important. But in low light conditions, it glows bright blue. It's a cyan tone, and it's satisfying. Now, the movement is an SW300, so it's thin, it's well finished, it's visible behind this display case back. It has 56 hours of power reserve, but it's a movement that has a great track record. It's a trusted, reliable caliber that any watchmaker will be able to service or repair for decades into the future. I think it's a solid movement choice for this price. And that's the biggest thing when it comes to Monta. I think that they bring the value. They recognize that watch collectors are looking for a lot of features when they're spending their hard-earned money. So when it comes to pricing for the Noble 40, the first 100 orders get this for $1,595. So essentially $1,600. The rest of the pre-order, the price goes up to $1,750, and then full retail after the watch ships is $1,895. And considering that range of pricing, $1,600 on up to $1,900, and then you consider the finish, you consider the fit, you consider the dial details, the solid movement, one of the best bracelets and clasps in the business, the excellent overall versatility, the solid lume and water resistance. I think you have a solid value for a sport watch. And that's something that I gravitate toward as a watch collector. Now, admittedly, the hands are a little bit long. Monta told me that they picked up on that, and the production versions of this Noble 40 will have slightly shorter hands, and I think that's a good thing. But overall, the watch went through some subtle changes that I feel enhance the overall product without departing from what Monta has shown that they do really well with other versions of the Noble that they've done in years past. And as I look at this, I see Monta character, but I also see elements that I personally enjoy from other brands like Rolex. And, I look at this and I see a rather aggressive sport case with wider lugs and crown guards, a steel bezel, and it kind of reminds me of the Air King in that regard. The dial kind of reminds me of a bright blue dial OP41, but it doesn't feel like Monta is going for the Air King and the Oyster Perpetual. It just has similar notes and it has its own style. So I appreciate that. I think this is one that you could enjoy in a number of different conditions, outfits, scenarios, and it's going to feel at home. Links are below. I appreciate you watching today. Please reach out with any questions, and I hope to see you again in a future video.